We already have one one loyal subscriber that gives me a thumbs up before I even start. That's good. And I thought I'd keep you guys on your toes since I'm usually 5 to 10 minutes late. Go live a couple of minutes early this time. Let me know if the sound is okay, because I'm a little bit further away from the mic than I usually am. Hello, Honda Bear. Howdy, Kurgan. Thanks for the extra heads up on this one, and I hope you're having a nice day. I am having a pretty cool day. Just finishing off my tea, which my daughter made me very kindly. So let's see. Well, you're the only one here, Honda Bear, so shoot if you got any questions on random rifle. Sam Wetterb. Sound is 5x5. Oh, there you go. There's a man that knows like sound technical stuff, right? Or sounds like it to me anyway, who's completely ignorant of it. Well, there's two of you, so you get to ask whatever you want or make comments first while we wait to see if we get 4 people. Otherwise, I'll just start off anyway. As per last time, I've picked like 5 favorite sort of long weapons, which by favorite I mean like blue sky thinking. Money's not object. You can buy whatever, you know, you can have whatever gun is available on the planet without worrying about ammo or getting the ammo or ammo costs or weapon costs or anything like that. And legalities, right? Obviously some rifles are not allowed in certain settings or countries or whatever, but the favorite one is just blue sky thinking. You can have whatever you want as long as it exists and is real. So mind you, I suppose I'm still a minute or so early, so I should probably wait another minute before I get into it. So the 3 of you that are here now, if you've got any specific weird questions or, you know, weapons or whatever, doesn't have to be related even to this talk. Volume and clarity are much better than they have been in recent memory. That's all I meant. Oh, good. Okay, maybe I was standing too close to the mic then, or sitting too close to the mic. Looks like there's probably a little bit of delay from when I talk to when it gets to you guys. There's 4 of you now, so good enough for me. I'm gonna give it another 30 seconds or so just to be fair, since I started a couple of minutes early. So if any of you here have got any comments, questions, statements that you want to make, you know, go ahead. I'll have a sip of water and then I'll begin. Hakan Engman, 1821 hours, Central Eastern Time. Yeah, don't come to me with that stuff. GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. All right, without further ado. So, as I said, I'll start off with the favorites, which are blue sky thinking, legality, money, not object. You know, as long as it's a real weapon available on the planet, then you can have it. So as the first one for this, I'd probably pick the one that's on the screen now, which is a 338 Lapua. And I would probably pick this configuration of rifle as well. The thing about the 338 Lapua is on a rifle that's, you know, properly accurate, you could easily reach to 2 kilometers center mass shots if you're a sniper. And I'll tell you why that is a bit later, but you know, you could easily, you know, 1,000 meter shots with the 338 Lapua is not an issue. It's gonna be sort of, I would probably set my 338 Lapua for 1,000 meter. That would be my 0 point, I think. It's a nice cartridge. It flies pretty flat. It's got a long reach. And of course the rifle gets a bit heavy, which is why I would pick this configuration, because without having a barrel shroud and everything else, it's probably a better version, or a slightly lighter version than what you would probably be used to. The second thing that I would, they're not in no particular order, right? I like all of these weapons. This one here, let me just move myself out the way. Right, so this one here is a Russian 50 caliber sniper weapon that's abbreviated to the VSSK, which stands for Vintovka Sniperskaya Specjalna Krupnokaliberная, which basically stands for special sniper rifle of large caliber, because it is a 50 caliber, but it's got a slightly different configuration on the cartridge. The cartridge is not bottleneck, I believe. It's a straight, so it doesn't have a shoulder, and it is suppressed. It's got an integral suppressor. And the thing about this rifle, it's a 50 caliber, but look at the size of it. This is a bit more in context, so that you've got an idea of it. It's oh, sorry, let me just get rid of, my there you go. That gives you an idea of the size of it, and you can see it's quite easily sort of carryable. You know, you can carry that around. It's not a huge weapon, and it's for urban warfare. Generally, it's considered to have an effective range up to 600 meters. I'm sure you could push it to like 800, maybe even 1,000, but it is suppressed, and I think that the rounds, or at least some of the rounds that you can use in this, are subsonic ammo. Now, why the hell would you have a 50 caliber suppressed urban combat thing for only like 600 meters? I'll tell you why. Because the Russians think kind of like I do, which is, if you're going to have to sniper somebody, you want to be sure that he goes down, even if you're, you know, like an inch or two off. Because, you know, if you get a 50 caliber round through you, roughly center mass, you're done. You're not going to be bothering anybody anymore. And even if it doesn't quite hit you in the cerebellum, you know, again, you're done. You know, say it only hits you in the cheek here, you're finished. So that's why. And I kind of like that way of thinking. So that would probably be a rifle that I would like in an ideal world, sort of thing. Then number 3 in my list would be this one, which is the Winchester. It's an SXP Defender. It's an 8-shot pump action. And the reason I prefer pump action to semi-autos is that semi-autos can and do jam. Now, they're not supposed to, but they do. A pump action, it's tough to get into a problem with a pump action. It's a little bit like the revolver's version of shotguns. You just rack it again and out you go. It's relatively short. It's considered, I think, a tactical type shotgun. It's quite cheap. I think it's under $500 or $600. I don't know, I think in euro now. So, but I think it's a very efficient little shotgun. And so that's kind of it in terms of, well, wait, there's another one which I made a mistake and moved. Give me a second. Yeah, number 4 on the list is this one, which I have never actually shot a lever rifle. But this one here is a Winchester 1866, which is known as I think it's called Bronze Boy or Brown Boy or something like that. Gold Boy by the Red Indians of America who lived through the time when this existed. I think it's a 14 or 15 shot um, rifle with, it's really a carabine more than a rifle. And I believe that the round used in there is a 4440, which I might be wrong, but I think the 4440 was also a pistol round, so you could switch between your 6 gun and this thing. The ammo would fit in it. And like I said, I think it's 14 plus 1 or 15 plus 1 with the rounds going into the, this part here, the tube under the barrel. And effective range is supposed to be only about 150, maybe 200 meters, but I think it's a fun sort of, cowboy time type weapon. And I think in cowboy times I would definitely have wanted one of these. So I think it would be just a fun gun to shoot. And lastly, as the sort of fifth long weapon, I'd go for this one, which is this is a detail on a Beretta, but basically I like the over and under shotgun for just purely aesthetic sort of purposes, really. Let me show you. This one here is a Benelli. It's got quite clean lines, but there are very beautiful rifles from many manufacturers. Most of them are Italian, Benelli, Franchi. I just like the over and under look, and there is a I cheat a little bit, like I told you, like that's an over and under, but there is also another over and under which it did exist. Now this thing has got quite a little story to go with it. Let me just get rid of the other picture. Sorry. Yeah. So this is an RMA stakeout. RMA stands for Rocky Mountain Arms Stakeout. Rocky Mountain Arms has gone out of business. This is a real shotgun that did exist. They did build this to spec for Miami Vice, I believe, the actual real Miami Vice Police Department, for undercover cops or something like that. It is an over and under shotgun which apparently folds all the way back. So you see there's a little pivot there, just here, and you could sort of fold this open with the barrels already loaded and put it in like a little briefcase or a gym bag or something. I just like the look of it. Of course, this was also used in the film Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's shown shooting both barrels, I think, at one point, which I think is impossible because, if I'm not wrong, it looks like it's got a single trigger here, so it probably would just shoot one barrel at a time. But I don't know, I just like it. It's a nice little, gun. Obviously, sawn-off shotguns are illegal in most of the world, and this was, I think, between an 8 and a 12-inch barrel, which, if I'm not wrong, is illegal even in the United States, because I think the limit there is about 18 inches. It certainly would be illegal anywhere in Europe, but I really like it. If any of you knows any videos of people shooting it or whatever, I'd like to see that. So that's it for the 5 favorite guns. And let me just quickly catch up with the chat in case you guys have asked me anything. Let's see. I figure the AR-AK debate is going to come up. No, it isn't, because they're nowhere near my list. So I figured I'd drop in my 2 cents. Modern ARs have fixed the reliability issue, and modern AKs have been accurized, so the issue becomes caliber. The 5.65 is intended to maim and the 7.62 to kill. The way I see it, they both have their place. Yeah, I will always choose 7.62 over 5.65. But yeah, AKs and ARs don't even come into it as far as I'm concerned. And Honda Bear carries on. Lever guns are great. You may be thinking of 44 mag. No, the modern ones are 44 mag. The one I showed you, the 1866 version, was in 4440, I think. Yeah, no, 4570 is a different caliber for a different gun. Anyway, now going to the more practical, what I call best guns. And the first one on the list is this one here, which I like. It's a really good gun. This is the Ruger precision rifle in 300 Winchester mag. Now, this thing, out of the box, I've personally done an 8-inch. First time I fired it with a very old scope on it, I did 8 inches at 1,000 meters. And that's out the box. It's got a brilliant trigger. It's an all-round good weapon. The only downside to it, it is a little bit heavy, because that shroud that you see on the barrel here, that yeah, let me just, there you go. This thing, it's all solid metal, and it's heavy. It's a heavy rifle. So if you had to lump that over hills and run around in the desert with it, you know, you better be pretty fit. It is gonna wear you down over time, especially if you think you gotta carry ammo with it, water, you know, you got a backpack, whatever. So that's the only kind of downside. It is a little bit heavy, but it is extremely accurate. A little bit of practice, I think this will go out to 1,000 meters as a regular, and with a little bit of practice, I think 1,500 meters, 1,500 meters would also be perfect. Jordan says, Purdy and Sons make some beautiful bespoke rifles and shotguns. Yeah, I think they will probably cost in the £20,000 region, but yes, I'm sure they do. And for that kind of money, yeah. So that would be my sort of probably number one rifle I'd get. And then sort of the other ones would be the same ones I've already shown you. The SXP 8-shot shotgun, the Winchester 1866 for the fun lever gun, and Over and Under, which I've already shown you. So the only difference between sort of my favorite and best would be that this would be in 300 Win Mag, because it's just easier to source. It's a bit cheaper to definitely a bit cheaper to shoot, and it's a little bit lighter than the 338 Lapua. The 338 Lapua also comes in Ruger Precision Rifle makes them in 308, the 6.5 Creedmoor, 300 Win Mag, and 338 Lapua. So you can get all those calibers in this version of the rifle. But if I were to have 5 sort of favorite long guns, my best ones, I would probably pick this as the only difference from my favorite guns. And this is a, I think it's called, sorry, there. It's, let me move myself out the way a little bit if I can, maybe up there, yeah. So this is the Super Sniper from Wilson Combat. And it is probably the only rifle of this kind that I would pick that is a semi-auto. You see there, it doesn't have, like over here on the extractor, that semi-automatic rifle. Usually sniper rifles, this sort of thing would be bolt actions. But Wilson Combat sort of makes, takes their time to make really decent weapons. And this thing, it's not cheap. It's like over $3,000. I think it's about in the region of $3,600, $3,700. But I think it's accurate. I haven't shot one, but I kind of know their company, and I think the fact that it's semi-auto and that it's designed to it's well designed. So I think that would be sort of a backup sniper weapon. And if you had to move around quicker, it's going to be a lot lighter than the Ruger Precision in 300. and it's you can do rapid fire shots sequentially quicker than you could with a bolt action, probably without losing your sight picture either. So that would be my number 5 practical one that's different from the favorite one. So that's basically it. Relatively short one in terms of my usual long streams, but there you go. So if you've got any questions or comments, fire them into the chat. It's only been like 20 minutes, but unless there's any other questions, I said I would do the long arms one, and I might do another one, which is just like, okay, you're now limited to 5 firearms, regardless of size, length, etc., which is going to be very difficult. I'll still probably do the 5 favorites, 5 best, maybe. Or maybe I should just limit myself to 5. That's it. 5 firearms. You can only have 5 for life. I don't know. Like when I do this kind of things, I have to kind of put some parameters, because how could you just have 5 firearms for life? So I say things like, okay, what if you got teleported back to like any place in time in history, and you can only have 5 firearms? But then the other thing comes in, well, what about ammo? Can you reload? That sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know. I'll probably do a top 5 list, and I'll probably just keep it to like practical ones rather than like blue sky. Because if you're gonna go blue sky, then why should you limit yourself to 5? But yeah, that's about it for now. Unless you got others, a few more of you. I don't know if it's rural internet making you pop in and out. I don't know. So a video of a chain-fed, fully auto 2LR, not practical, but looked fun. There's actually, I remember seeing this 20, 30, more than 30 years ago. And it was like a 2.2 short rifle with like a drum magazine of ammo. And it fired like, I don't know, 1,000 rounds a second, a minute or something. And it was like a paint gun. It was like a hose gun. And basically because there was so many bullets like hitting one after the other, the guy was just holding like this, and he was like destroying like concrete blocks and stuff, and he was literally like just painting it. It was just like zzz, it was like a water jet pistol. And he had these huge drums, and they were like 2.2 long rifle, but they were like firing so many of them one after the other. It was kind of like speeded up Chinese water torture. So like each one bullet impact wouldn't necessarily do a lot of damage, but because there was like 15 of these things per second or whatever, like hitting, like just, it would like damage, break through, like, they had videos, I think, of even bulletproof glass and stuff like that, and it would eventually go through it, because it was just like, it's just like a drill, So yeah, I've seen that. It's quite an old concept, actually, and I don't know what happened to it. It was like on TV, and I remember watching it when I was still in Africa. And both my brother and I were looking at it going, look at that thing. It's just like a hose gun. It's a swarm of bees tactic. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. But, okay. That's basically it, unless you guys have... I'm going to hang about for another minute or two. And if you've got comments or questions on any long weapon or something else as well, go ahead and let me know. Otherwise, I'll probably end it here. Let's see, what time is it now? Oh, sorry. Yeah, actually, I think I gave you the wrong time, because I've got the wrong time on this. Yeah, this clock is set for the UK, so I was sorry about that. Everybody that's coming in about 20 minutes or half, yeah, they're probably they're probably thinking, what? I've already missed it. Sorry, I screwed up explaining the time. Yeah. Oh, you're most welcome, Joe. Okay, it looks like you're all satisfied with my take on the guns, probably because most of you are not here yet. Well, I'll get it right next time, hey? Thank you all for being here. God bless and keep you, everyone. Good night.